Hi there Aries, thank you for joining me for your May monthly forecast. A month which begins with Mercury, the planet of communication, moving into the part of your scope that's brilliant for expressing yourself. And it's going to be combining with Venus in week 1 of this month, which means that your mind can be very active, but also you can use the charm of Venus to be very persuasive. However, there are 2 other influences that are very influential in the first week of this month. Not least, the Sun is squaring up to Jupiter, which could give you the temptation to really splash out on anything that you're attracted by. However, with the Sun in your 2nd solar house, along with Mars, which emphasizes resources, forging a fine link with Pluto in week 1, this can be a time when hard work from the past starts to see your situation shaping up in a really significantly better way. So, on the back of the Sun square to Jupiter, if you decide to splash out and treat yourself or spoil those around you, you may decide that it's well deserved. Yet the full moon, which occurs on the 4th, just reminds you that it is important to be mindful that whatever you're spending in the here and now will have an impact in the future. Now on the 8th, Venus is going to be moving, goes into a new home, an area which can actually see you being really much more appreciative of your environment for the rest of the month. Now whether this is your outside space or whether it's your inside one, just making some changes and some tweaks can be very attractive to you. But on the 12th, your ruling planet Mars also moves, making its way into the part of your horoscope that's very much to do with that personal expression. But it is going to be going opposite with Saturn for the following week. And this can cause an awful lot of frustration if you feel that someone you're trying to reach out to is not being very fair with you, is being very authoritarian, is in some way limiting your progress. Ideas generally are going to have to be very clearly thought out, or else you could reach some kind of obstacle or stumbling block. Also, on the 18th, although there is a fine new moon, which can bring some money in, particularly if you have been that much more enterprising and entrepreneurial, by the 19th, Mercury does slam on the brakes and goes into a retrograde. Now, this retrograde is going to last right until the end of the month, and it's the normal story for when Mercury is rewinding, anything to do with communications, to do with sending parcels and packages, anything to do with technology or transport, all these areas can be blighted. So it's going to be important that we try to control the bit that we can influence as best we can, and that means slowing things down, being very thorough, precise, making sure that we do what we can affect as efficiently as possible. If things then go awry outside of our domain, well, that's just the way it is. However, there is a change when the Sun moves into Gemini, and this occurs on the 20th, and this is an opportunity for you to really feel much more go-getting. Ordinarily you'd think, but because Saturn is rewinding in Sagittarius, you're going to actually meet an obstacle here as well, and this too can just limit your mental activities, your personal expression somewhat. Also, the Sun is then going to go on to square up with Neptune, and if there is any kind of hidden stuff in the background, potentially to do with gossip or someone who's not really very upfront, tends to be a little bit deceitful around you, maybe it's someone you have to deal with in your workplace, then you do need to keep your wits about you. So you can see that communication does offer some wonderful opportunities in the first week of this month, but also there can be some challenges. And it's all about being mindful of that side of your nature which can be quite impulsive, that just likes to go for it on instinct. That can actually be one of your greatest traits when things pay off. But because of all the obstacles that do come up this month, planetary-wise, for all of us, we're just going to have to be much more mindful about how we're perceived, how we express ourselves, and how we try to get our ideas across to others. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck, and goodbye for now.